Welcome back. Time to talk a little more hoops, and I tell you what, Pocomoke, one of the teams that everyone had their eye coming in, well, for good reason. Undefeated still at this point in the year, and they had another good game going on actually last night, taking on Chrisfield. And the Warriors defense turning in some early offense in this thing. Tyler Nixon comes up with the steal, and then check out the fancy footwork, the up and under finish right there for 2 points. The Crabbers, they would fire right back. The nice look here from Jason Taylor over to Justin Cohen. He gets the basket. He had a team-high 15 in this thing. Then just before the end of the first quarter, Pocomoke forces yet another turnover. Jameel Baldwin beating the buzzer at the lane at the other end. To the second quarter we go. Pocomoke pulling away. Nixon finds the great Tyrone Matthews underneath. He gets the layup, and then Matthews would play beat the buzzer at the end of the second quarter. Shoots it from the 7-11 down the corner and just drills it for 3 of his game-high 24. The Warriors absolutely roll 72-35.
And the fans were pumped up to see Sussex Central at home against Polytech despite the Panthers jumping out to a quick lead. Cam Satchel knocks it down from behind the arc, but the Golden Knights, they would push back here. Keontae Sturgis, he's not playing football. He can ball, though. Tyron Abbott on the outside. He knocks down the corner 3 to help his team stay in it, but not for long. Tech would be back. Satchel to Zach Price, who knocks down the long ball to keep the Panthers in charge. And then Satchel, he's back to show that he's got more than just a good shot. He's going to drive the lane for the layup as Polytech gets their second win of the week, actually, 64-54.
Well, how about Woodbridge? They were at home taking on Laurel. Undefeated going into that game, the Bulldogs were, but the play of Blaze Rayford helping out the home team. Gets the contact and one finish right there, the big fella. 16 on the night, but the Dogs came right back. 3-ball off the mark. Darrell Holden working hard on the glass, comes up with the O-board, the putback. Shortly after that, Brandon Falk finds Skylar Chafin down low, and he gets 2 points. Got this thing close down the stretch, but the Blue Raiders able to pull it out. Corey Corbin earns 2 points plus a trip to the line. Woodbridge, they get the win, 67-61 the final. And definitely starting to, like I said, kind of shake things up a little bit, starting to get to know these teams a little bit, starting to get surprised by some of the teams we thought to be towards the top, and it's going to be interesting in here.
Like you said, I think things kind of got shaken up, but let's turn things over to the expert himself. Our very own Trayvon Miles is standing by. What are your rankings looking like this week?
Thanks, guys. We're now on to our second power rankings of the season, and I have to admit there has been somewhat of a shakeup. No why high, but one team I thought was legit proved that they weren't ready to be on this list. So without any further notice, let's get right into it. In the old line state, Stephen Decatur still at number 1 for more obvious reasons than just getting the reigning Bayside Player of the Year back. They are stacked, simply put. They travel to take on number 2 Pocomoke on Monday. Got a feeling it's going to be a playoff type feel down in that gym in a couple of nights. 3, give me the also undefeated Queen Anne's Lions, leaders of the pack in the North. Parkside also undefeated. We'll see what they can do when they have to take on those heavyweights at the top of this list. And Easton making their debut in the rankings, 5-1 with their only loss coming to Queen Anne's. And on to the first state, Dover, despite that loss to St. George's, still remains number 1. Cape Henlopen rises the ladder to number 2 after that big win against Milford earlier in the week. Number 3, the steady Smyrna Eagles, still undefeated and under the radar. Typical Smyrna basketball. Coming in at 4 this week. Milford, they fell from 2, and at 5, still killing the game, guys. Seaford, 4 straight wins after last night's 3-point win over McKean. Guys?
Yeah, Seaford, gotta love them right now, but we'll start over in Maryland. I have almost the exact same list except right there at the top. I got Pocomoke at 1, just slightly over Decatur. Monday is going to be fun. Thing with Pocomoke is between Tyler Nixon and Tyrone Matthews, there's not a front court that defends better than those two right now in the entire Bayside. Those guys get into you. Their full court pressure is going to cause some havoc, and it's going to be fun seeing how Decatur tries to use their height and their length to kind of counter that. That is going to be a matchup that I can't wait to see. Over in Delaware, same thing. I've actually pretty close to the same list as you. I got Dover at 1, but I have Smyrna just ahead of Cape right now. Smyrna undefeated. Cape, they're 5-1, but you know Smyrna's only played 3 games at this point. I haven't seen as much of them yet, but they have looked impressive in the games they have played. Then Milford and Seaford are there at the Henlopen South, the 2 best teams I think in the South right now. We'll see if Laurel, when they can start to get into a little bit more conference play, how they hang.
Definitely. All right. Well, I'm going to start off in Maryland. I've got Parkside coming in at number 5 and number 4 and 3. I've got Kent County and Kent Island. I'm trying to shake things up in this room right now.
Kent County's still in there, huh?
Yeah, they're still in there. Okay. Now coming in at number 2, I've got Pocomoke. Coming in at number 1, Decatur. I know that you're not going to agree with me, but I really think that Decatur is the best team in the Bayside. But we will find out on Monday. I cannot wait for that. Now, over in Delaware at number 5, I've got Cape Henlopen. I know that again, I'm shaking things up in here, but I just think that they've got to clean things up off of the court in order to do better on the court. Now, coming at number 4, I've got Seaford. I love how this team plays. They're very unselfish the way they play basketball. Very fun to watch them. Milford in at number 3. I know that they lost this week, but I still think that they have enough momentum going with them that they're going to be able to bounce back and be just fine. Coming at number 2, I've got Smyrna. Milford and Smyrna actually played this week at Smyrna, so that should be a really great game. And then in at number 1 is Dover. Like you said, they did lose to St. George's, but I think that they're going to hold that top spot.
Dover scares me a little bit because they seem to play really well individually, but I haven't seen them kind of really gel so well together. It was the same story last year, one of the most talented teams, but they just had games where, I mean, they had a 12-point lead in that St. George game late, and they lost that one. I'm a little scared about them. We'll see what happens. They have more talent than anybody. We'll see what happens down the stretch. But it's going to be fun to see.
Definitely. All right, well, it is time for another commercial break, but do not go anywhere. When we return, we will be taking a look at special moments from last night's Pocomoke girls basketball game. Keep it right here.
This is Dustin Mills with James M. Bennett Basketball, and you are watching Delmarva Sports Insider.